Alright. Let's jump back into it. We've had a day off from the news. I've tried to avoid as much political news as I can for the weekend, and I failed miserably. But regardless, let's talk about the election. Why? Because, well, Trump's actually doing the right thing about this, but we'll get to that in a sec. Thousands referred to DOJ for election lawsuit violations after many as 9,000 illegal voters identified in Nevada. We got 3 stories today. All 3 of them are about the election. I know, I'm sorry, but this stuff has to go out. Because at the moment, we just covered the fact that the media is trying to project Biden as a winner when it hasn't actually been certified yet. We have thousands of illegal votes identified in Nevada and other states. We'll get to that. You know, like at the end of the day, and apparently Joe Biden can cure COVID. So obviously we're going to be talking about that as well. But obviously, look, at the end of the day, guys, let's jump into this article. We've already talked about the first thing, which is obviously him not actually being the president-elect just yet. So, you know, mainstream media, calm the farm. And we've shown some videos of why that is. Even CNN has had CNN projected Joe Biden winner. Joe Biden winner is in big letters. CNN projected, oh, that was so small to read on a 65 centimeter screen, wasn't it? But, you know, hey, let's not stop the narrative, right? So thousands referred to DOJ for election lawsuit violations after as many as 9,000 illegal voters identified in Nevada. A legal group working with the Trump campaign has identified upwards of 6,000 voters that were illegally cast in the state of Nevada by people who no longer live there. I actually heard it was up to 20, but regardless. An initial analysis of the firm identified 3,062 voters who moved from Nevada before the election day, but still cast votes there, which is against the law. And in this case, county where Las Vegas is located, suggesting that others from Nevada may have voted in other parts of the state. A letter sent by the firm to Nevada District Attorney explains that these 3,062 fraudulent votes were verified by cross-referencing the list of general election voters with the publicly available change of address records. Further, the letter argues that since the national change of address database only captures around 1/3 of total relocations, the true number of fraudulent voters in Nevada simply due to relocations could be up to 9,000. For instance, demographic experts agree that the national change address database only captures about 1/3 of re-elections, the letter reads. Consequently, this number will more likely grow by 6,000 votes at a minimum. The Gateway Pundit is incorrectly reporting this amount to be as many as 6,000 illegal voters. 3,062 plus 6,000 actually equates to more than 9,000 illegal votes, just to be clear. The Nevada GOP has since sent a criminal reference to the U.S. Attorney General William Barr, asking him to take action by remedying this situation. Our lawyers just sent a criminal reference to AG Barr referring to at least the 3,062 instances of voter fraud, the Nevada GOP tweeted. We expect that number to grow substantially. Thousands of individuals have been identified who appear to have violated the law by casting ballots after they moved from Nevada. Now, we do know that Nevada, we do have the results for that. Let me just double check. So in Nevada, they have 664,162 votes. And Trump has 629,879 votes. And Joe Jorgensen got 1% of the vote with 13,000. Now, they've got 97 expected votes, right? In Clark alone, Biden supposedly won that area he got 53%, Trump got 44.1%. That Clark area, they jumped by 468 they went from Joe Biden got 468,000. Actually, let me just put this on the screen for you, so you can actually follow it along. So in Clark, they got 400 and... Go away. There. So in Clark, they got 468,433. Trump got 397,560. Now, the interesting thing here, right, is that in those two areas, so Biden only won 2 of those counties. Trump won the rest. So that's weird, isn't it? Like, Las Vegas and Reno, the 2 major cities, yeah. But like I say, look, obviously the 9,000 votes in Clark, it's not going to make much of a difference. But, you know, hey, it could swing another state. And if they've got people that are voting that are no longer in the state, well, that is obviously a problem. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And obviously the media is trying to downplay this. From what I've heard, they're trying to censor people who are talking about this. What can I say? I'm a little thick. But at the end of the day, yeah, obviously, you know, my question is, will it swing Nevada? Not necessarily. If there's other stuff going on, that may swing Nevada. But at the end of the day, Nevada's only 6 states, 6 college anyway. So to me, even if he did lose this, he would still be over the 270 mark. So he's at 279 now, apparently, according to them. So at the end of the day, I would say that is, yeah. Pennsylvania was the tipping point. Pennsylvania is where the real interesting stuff's going to happen, but we'll get to that. But like I say, obviously, and it's not just, you know, these no-name liberal mobs who are obviously talking about this. Daily Mail is talking about it. Up to 9,000 residents that voted in Nevada as witness says their votes were denied. So obviously you could put those two things together and, you know, you got quite a decent amount of votes there. Obviously at the end of the day, this has to go to the Supreme Court and they have to vote on it. And that's obviously up to them to do. So, but at the end of the day, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I would say, obviously, look, if it had been a clean race with no illegal voting or anything like that, I would have been fine. Joe Biden's won, yippee. But with everything that we're hearing, what's going on, like I said in my first story, I don't know how the media is planning on calling this. At the moment, we have a media calling it, not the Electoral Commission. And there's the big difference. But see first story for that. But at the end of the day, guys, yeah, look, at the end of the day, 9,000 people voting is quite a problem. Will Barr do anything about all this? Referring to the findings, AG Barr is not all the reassuring, seeing as the guy has done next to nothing dealing with any of the other corruption before him. Yeah. Many others seem to agree, including the Gateway pundit commenter who responded to the news sarcastically. Barr and Durham will get right on this as soon as they've finished up with the cooked Hillary investigation. That's very true. Another injected that votes casted by people who do not have American citizenship need to be thrown out. Otherwise, Democrats who claim to oppose foreign election meddling are nothing but hypocrites. Well, we know the left is hypocrites anyway, because obviously, see the third story. But look, at the end of the day, obviously, yeah, look, it's, to me, is this going to flip Nevada? Probably not. But I'm more interested in what happened at Wisconsin, because that is still pretty tight. There's only like 20,000 votes in Wisconsin. Yeah, literally 20,000 votes. Holy dilly, that's close. Michigan is really close with like 50,000 votes. And Pennsylvania is really close with like 40,000 votes. They're the three that I think we need to look at. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. They're the ones that I would worry about so much. Maybe Arizona as well. Yeah, I wouldn't worry much about... I wouldn't worry much about Nevada, to be honest. But, yeah. But guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Third story coming up right now. We're going to talk about Joe Biden curing COVID, because apparently he's done that. Apparently. Well, we'll let you know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Have a great night. See you in the third story.